Our Nike player of the game, Sadia Roundtree of Georgia. 26 points, 8 out of 14 from the floor, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and some outstanding defense as well. Don't forget ESPN's presentation of the women's.
Spurlock clear. Louisiana Tech is 8-3 all time in regional finals. They lost on this floor in '93 to Vanderbilt.
Now you're seeing both teams trying to establish the inside game before they open up from the outside.
Roundtree. Neal pulls up. And the foul from Rachel Powell.
What happens when you have a three-guard offense who are as good athletes and rebounders as LaTech backcourt is, Neal gets the rebound, and she's your point guard. Now she's busting it down the court. All she has to do is read situations, and that time everybody dropped off. She had the shot.
Senior Kendra Neal at the line, a 77% foul shooter this year. We've talked, Nancy, this weekend about this being a Final Four matchup in a regional final. The 10 starters in this game have all played in the Final Four.
Well, that just says that there's a lot of experience and a lot of hope that they might get back to the Final Four.
One piece of the puzzle complete. The Lady Vols of Tennessee with a dramatic second-half comeback win in Charlottesville. Roundtree kicks it out front to Holland. And Louisiana Tech has it.
Bob, Louisiana Tech is so good at trying to put pressure in the middle and double down, but they close out on the perimeter. That time, Vicki Johnson came from underneath to put a hand up in the face of Keidra Holland.
Andy thought that ball was touched, but Coach Landry's complaint falling on deaf ears. 8-4, Louisiana Tech.
We were in practice yesterday, and both teams were just so intent on running their half-court offenses to perfection.
Williams misses the three. It's Walker inside. The second opportunity doesn't go. Johnson, yes.
You're talking about somebody that's no bigger than 5'8" and Vicki Johnson, and she is the second leading scorer. You've got to box her out 2 and 3 times.
Roundtree pounds it inside to Henderson. A block and a foul on Spurlock.
Check out Vicki Johnson and what the All-American can do. Even when she doesn't have the basketball. Look at this. Everybody's fighting for the rebound, and look who sneaks in amongst the trees. That is as sweet a little floating shot. I mean, that's the thing where the Gervin got him. That got him to the Hall of Fame.
Tracy Henderson long on the first free throw. This is a Georgia ball club that led the SEC at the line at 72%.
I thought it was a good offensive play by Andy Landers the last time. They isolated Henderson. They brought 4 out on the perimeter, Georgia, and isolated her against Spurlock.
Henderson hitting the second shot. Louisiana Tech making a change in the pivot. Artis Gilmore's daughter, Freya Gilmore, the freshman from Jacksonville, is checked into the game.
He's only a freshman at 6'3", but he's a very physical player.
And Walker will go to the line.
Keisha Walker getting great position. It's the second time she's had good position on the right block. She loves that side of the floor. You've got to push her and defend her before she gets down and sets her position if you're Georgia.
Walker, a junior from Athens, Louisiana, played in the NCAA championship game as a freshman. Came off the bench, scored 10 points, and grabbed 5 rebounds in 20 minutes in that heartbreaking defeat to the Tar Heels.
Nobody on the Lady Techsters will ever remember that. And then, you know, last year in the regional, they lose to Virginia. I mean, they continue to point to those 2 losses, why they want to play each possession, and they don't want it to come down to a last-second shot.
Powell with 2 personals goes out in favor of Latrice Bush for Georgia. The Lady Bulldogs have fallen 7 back. Roundtree's runner banks in.
That's kind of a shot that you don't really teach. It's just instinct, and that's why that is the Naismith Award winning your player of the year in Sadia Roundtree.
Sadia, the first woman from the SEC school to win that distinction. Johnson up and in.
Okay, Claudia, you got the hardware, but I'm really good too, Vicki Johnson says.
Roundtree coming right back at the other end. And this time is fouled by Deborah Williams. Check it. They're going to give that foul to Walker.
Claudia Roundtree, watch how her head is up when she penetrates. She has taken the angle away from Kendra Neal by making that little step towards the basket. A lot of players flare out and lose the angle. She went right towards the hole.
Roundtree, nothing but net on a brilliantly conceived out-of-bounds play.
See, well, for Sonia, this is like a 2-hour highlight film. We're just kind of molding it together for her.
14-9, Lady Texas.
Little change in defense right now. It looked like a little Boston won for a minute.
The early shooting in Roundtree. Short with this one. Offensive stick back for Henderson. Tracy with 7.
See, when Claudia Roundtree is breaking you down off the dribble, good defensive teams want help.
15:46 left in the opening half, and just the...
With a friend. Make that 3 friends and Final Four legends Cheryl Swoops and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Shoot! I could have made that shot!
But not on your couch. The game! Come to Sears by March 30th and register to win 4 seats for next year's men's or women's Final Four, besides Kareem and Cheryl. Sure beats sitting behind them.
Louisiana Tech leading Georgia 14-11. 15:46 remaining in the first half. The center matchup is indeed a fine one tonight with Henderson of Georgia and Spurlock of Louisiana Tech. Both had magnificent games in the regional semis.
Well, for Spurlock, she's an honorable mention All-American, and Tracy Henderson, the junior, certainly should be considered for one of those top billings because she has it all.
Cena and Borstov in the game for Georgia, and the Lady Bulldogs with a 3-second violation.
And when Borstov is in the game, she gives Georgia a different look. She's not going to score a lot, but she's a very physical player. She's going to set some monster screens and watch her lay a body on Spurlock when a rebound goes up.
Louisiana Tech has out rebounded Georgia 6-3 in the opening minutes. Johnson. Spurlock, an offensive rebound, but poked away by Holland.
They ought to have a statistic for Kedra Holland, how many times she's got her hands in deflected basketballs, because she breaks down a lot of chemistry in offenses.
Williams to Neal. Kendra penetrates.
The point guards are supposed to do, break down the defense.
Holland missing the 3, and Williams runs down the rebound. Deborah off the glass. Nope. And Walker too strong. Another offensive rebound, and Williams puts it in.
Well, if you don't force Deborah Williams or Vicki Johnson out of there after the shot, they're most likely going to get those offensive putbacks.
18-11, Lady Texans. Brett driving to the bucket, draws the foul. Nancy, you've mentioned about the inside game and particularly second chance opportunities. Louisiana Tech with 7 offensive rebounds here in the first 6.5 minutes of the game.
Well, they get 19 more rebounds a game. I mean, when you're getting 50 rebounds, 51 rebounds a game, you're going to have some offensive putbacks. That's going to win a lot of basketball games for you.
There's the offensive rebounding numbers and 8 second chance points for Louisiana Tech as Roundtree scores.
Great recognition by Claudia Roundtree. She realized that LaQuan Stallworth is a freshman. She's just come off the bench. I'm going to take advantage of her right off the bat.
Spurlock over Henderson. Brett clears to Roundtree.
Lakeisha Brett has to be a factor in this game if Georgia's going to win.
What a pass to Bush. Great feed from Roundtree.
Can we just say All-American, and you'll know what we're talking about. That is a gorgeous no-look pass against the grain of the defense.
18-15. Louisiana Tech by 3. Williams backs in, and over Holland scores.
You're getting a taste of the nearly 50 points, 42 points a game that you get off the perimeter of Louisiana Tech.
Fred, a second chance, puts it home.
Lakeisha Fred broke every record in Virginia. Matter of fact, she owns the all-time scoring record in the state to beat Grant Hill's record. He has got to be big in this game.
Spurlock doubled, held ball, and the arrow gives it to Georgia. Great defense on Spurlock that time.
And that's really Deborah Williams' responsibility, because it looked like Deidre Holland dropped off of her, so you can't force that pass into the post. This is that gorgeous dish. See how everybody slides to the right side thinking it's going to be Roundtree, and then Bush just reads the situation and goes to the open spot.
Roundtree, she's in the middle of everything offensively for Georgia.
Well, she is something special, and as well, she's an even nicer person, and that's why we need people like that in women's basketball.
2017. And a foul inside. This one on Gilmore, holding Henderson. The first on Freya. The USA women's national team is back from an 8-game sweep of the International Challenge in Russia and Eastern Europe. Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie and company, and the rest of Team USA will continue their tune-up for the Atlanta Olympics as they battle the Ukraine Thursday at 6 Eastern on ESPN2. Round 3. Gilmore has it. Out looks to Neal. Louisiana Tech out rebounding its opponents by an average of 19 a game. Neal, short. Out of bounds to Georgia. The Lady Techsters with only one defeat this year. That came at Tennessee. 77-72. The Lady Bulldogs claimed a regular season win over the Lady Vols in SEC play.
I think a smart thing that Georgia is trying to do within their offense as Irwin comes off the bench, the great shooter from Decatur, Tennessee, is they're trying to isolate Tracy Henderson down low against the freshman Gilmore.
Leon Barmore takes some time out as Georgia has put together an 8-2 run to pull within a point. With a great game from Tracy Henderson.
That's what Andy Landers likes to do. We mentioned that they're not the best rebounding team, but he makes up for that with creating turnovers and getting so many transition baskets.
Williams for 3. 9 first-half points for the Houston Seniors.
Boy, don't coaches like to come out of a timeout and run an executed play that actually works?
That would bring a smile to the face even of Leon. Off the window for Henderson. Tracy with 9.
See, the difference right now, when Spurlock was guarding Micah Atkins, Bob, in the semifinals, Atkins is only about 6 foot. So she can put that 6'4" arm up and bother the shot. Well, Tracy Henderson is 6'3", and that's not bothering her as she turns and shoots.
Neal. Nice through. Pulled out of the air by Fred.
Unbelievable help defense by Lakeisha Fred.
Wild bounce pass intercepted by Williams. Deborah's going to take it all the way. And a foul on Walker. McWeish's second.
So if you're going to get a foul, that's the type that coaches can live with, that you go into the offensive glass, you're hustling. Did you see how Deborah Williams used her strength, her upper body strength, to get through the defense even though she missed that shot? Always coaching.
Ron Stallworth getting lectured by Leon. Monica Maxwell, the freshman from East Chicago, Indiana, is now coming in. Round 3 missing. And here's Vicki Johnson going to work. The numbers in Georgia's favor. Johnson with a wild shot.
Yeah, I don't think that's the shot that Vicki Johnson really wants. 1-on-3 to the basket.
Round 3 pumps it up and in.
So you don't get a good shot on one end. You come down, and all of a sudden, Saudi Roundtree breaks your heart.
The third tie tonight.
Leon Barmore said in the press conference that Andy Landers is one of the great recruiters in the women's basketball game. And boy, does he have talent and speed at every position.
Shot clock at 7. Spurlock. Inside, Maxwell scores. Monica had 7 points and 5 rebounds here on Saturday. A big stick back to the Lady Texans.
And she's a high school All-American, a fantastic player that can play the 2, the 3, or the 4 position. Spurlock
was able to move Henderson under the basket that time. Here's one tipped away by Bush. Great hustle by these two teams. This has been, Nancy, the game that we had anticipated.
Well, we were hoping that both teams would come out, be hot, do what they do best, is to see the remarkable accomplishments of Andy Landers.
The Naismith Coach of the Year is named yesterday. 25-23. Louisiana Tech meeting. Neal hands to Williams.
I wonder if getting Coach of the Year, as Williams is absolutely on fire right now. She was only 4 of 14 against Texas Tech.
A couple of threes for Deborah and a dozen points.
One thing, Bob, you wonder if there's any satisfaction for Andy Landers to know that he gets the Coach of the Year honors, even though that he was kind of dealt his hand.
Don't you think, Nancy, teams at this level, there's only one prize, and that's the national championship?
And both these teams know what it's like to get to a Final Four because they've been there so many times. Louisiana Tech has won the title in 1982 and 88, and they came within 7/10 of a second of only another one in 94.
Neal goes down. That's a travel. The third turnover for the Lady Texans.
Credit the defense of the Lady Bulldogs. You pick up, you dribble, you're going to be in trouble.
Round 3. That one knocked away. Johnson comes up with it. 4-on-2 for Louisiana Tech. Maxwell hammered by Henderson. And again, Vicki Johnson out of control, leading the fast break.
I know she's out of control on that particular shot, and she's trying to get into the game. But the fact that she's attacking the defense. Look, there's 2 people on her, and nobody goes to box out Monica Maxwell, who's just parked in the paint. When you average 87 points a game, the Lady Texans, best scoring team in the nation, best defensive team in the nation, they only give up 52 points a game.
Coming back in with 2 personals, Rachel Powell, and Roundtree is going to get a well-deserved breather here.
Substitutions are going to be very important, how the coaches manipulate their subs on the bench.
Monica Maxwell playing with a right thumb that perhaps it was strained when she and Amanda Wilson struggled for a loose ball early in the tournament.
And she told me that it bothered her on her shot. But I'm going to tell her that it doesn't look like it bothers her. She's playing so well.
Nice tip away. It's Johnson. Short with it. But there's Maxwell again. And the rebound comes to Brandy Decker, who's just checked in for Georgia.
Brandy Decker comes off the bench and gives a little bit more versatility to Andy Landers, a good rebounder and a smart defensive player. Now there's Henderson again down low by herself.
And it drops. Tracy with 11. She had 16 in the first half Saturday.
And it's a different look right now with Sadia Roundtree. What you do is you give up some speed and quickness on the perimeter, but you gain some outside shooting in Irwin, a 40% outside shooter. From 3, I should add.
Spurlock. Georgia putting great pressure on Raquel, and they come up with a basketball. It looks, Nancy, like an automatic double team when Spurlock gets it in the paint.
Well, it should be, because when Spurlock gets it down low, you've got to collapse on her, make her kick it out.
Holland misses the 3, and Henderson travels. Timeout on the floor in Nacogdoches. A marvelous first half with the Lady Texans leading Georgia by 4.
Is trying to establish Tracy Henderson down low. What she's doing right here, you'll see beautiful spacing on the floor as Georgia starts to move the basketball. See, they've got all the perimeter players. Hold it there. Everybody's matched up right here. Now, this is isolation down low. 4 out, 1 in. The beautiful entry pass by Decker. And boom, yet another inside shot by Tracy Henderson. Beautiful execution.
Tracy has scored 11 with that 5 of 6 marks from the field and 3 rebounds. A couple of blocks as well. 29-25, latest experts.
And Bob, she had 16 points in the first half in the semifinal game against Stephen F. Austin before she got in foul trouble, Tracy Henderson.
Williams inside. Here's Maxwell with the spin move. Round 3 back in, grabs the board, ends up short. Naughty. Kicks it back to Irwin.
We talk so much about Vicki Johnson and her offensive prowess. Guess who Vicki Johnson is guarding? Saudi Roundtree. Because she always guards the best perimeter player opponent.
2-point ball game is Brett. Hits the perimeter jumper. 29-27.
Louisiana Tech always trying to run Johnson and Williams, kind of curl them off to the basket.
Georgia with a chance to tie as Brett controls it and misses the shot.
I know she missed that shot, but that was great hands being able to jump up, catch the ball, and get herself set.
Neal penetrates and draws the personal. Gandra just exploded to the basket.
That speed and quickness out of the point guard position. See how she goes just a little lower than Holland. The lower you are dribbling the basketball, the better angle you have and the more speed you have to the basket, and just beautiful execution by Kendra Neal.
That was a Linda Ronstadt layup. Blew by you.
That's exactly right.
Tracy Henderson picking up her second foul, and now it's going to be Kendra Neal to polish off the three-point play. A most improved free throw shooter. Last year, she was 58% at the line. And Neal this year has stepped it up to 77%. Was 2 for 2 already. Andy Landers. Neal is getting 2 free throws, and I'm not sure why. Should be 1. Now the officials correct the mistake.
Right, and Andy was not lost for that. He was explaining to the officials that, hey, you already gave her the basket.
He fogged up his glasses. He had to take them off. He was so excited.
Andy Landers pretty much started this Georgia basketball program from scratch and has done really a pretty incredible job. 13, 14, 20 win seasons. 11 seasons with 25 wins or more.
Later tonight, Vandy and Connecticut, the reigning national champs, in action at the Rosemont Horizon, and then Auburn and Stanford at midnight here on ESPN.
Joe Champy from Auburn showing why he pretty much dominated some of the 80s with getting to Final Fours with his matchup zone, one of the best, if not the best in the business.
Saudi. Here's Holland, and Johnson comes out of there with it. On the cut to Wilson. Great pass. The freshman from Shreveport, Louisiana, Amanda Wilson scores. Roundtree misses the 3, and Wilson at the other end claims it.
Pretty much 1 and out right now for Georgia. When they settle for only 1 pass and a shot, they're in trouble.
And Vicki grabs it and puts it home. Johnson with 6, and Louisiana Tech enjoys its largest lead.
Well, we should say Louisiana Tech enjoying their lead because of rebounding. They are dominating the glass right now.
Irwin, no longer. In and out, back in. And with 4. Big hoop for the Lady Bulldogs.
As Andy says, she does it for dough, not for show. She was a 72% shooter in high school. I guess that means she's got the game.
Williams inside Spurlock. That time, Fred came to help and nearly got burned.
team for Georgia were all 5 starters returned from last year's Final Four and 2 top reserves.
Holland down the lane. Brett misses outside. And Holland there for the rebound. Handle doesn't be in the right spot at the right time.
And again, I don't want this to keep happening, but Keeper Holland is only 5'8". Vicki Johnson, Deborah Williams are only 5'7", 5'8", and they're so proficient on the glass. Off the screen. Now Holland comes out to check it. Shot clock at 7. Neal spins. Got a good look at the bucket. Leon Barmore, the former walk-on who made himself into a scholarship athlete at Louisiana Tech. He's got to be loving that. As a matter of fact, I heard from Coach Sandra Ho when I was talking to her last night what a great student Leon was when he played. Everybody loves his guard shooting the ball.
Brett banks and scores point number 6. 38-33, Lady Texans.
Last 2 possessions now, the Lady Texters they've taken their time in their half-court offense.
Now a 1-4 set with Williams handling it up top.
Well, they're exploiting the freshman Irwin right there. They're saying, okay, Deborah Williams, take her one-on-one.
Round 3, fights for it. Knocked out of bounds by Wilson. A timeout in Nacogdoches. The Lady Texters up by 5. And the Lady Bulldogs of Georgia trailing by 5 at 38-33.
With the pace of this game, you're going to see a lot of players coming in and out of the game. For Georgia, they have 11 players that play an average of 10 minutes or more. And the same can be said for Leon Barmore's team.
Williams with her first personal. Irwin penetrating. And it's out of bounds to Louisiana Tech.
Tech's so good at moving their feet, cutting off the drive, and also giving help. That time, Pam Irwin off balance on her shot. When Louisiana Tech starts this half-court offense out of the double stack, it allows Keeper Holland to pick a side, whichever one she wants, and then you'll see Williams or Johnson curl off of each side.
Deborah Williams, third three-pointer of the first half.
And it's all diversion on the strong side. You think maybe Vicki Johnson is going to take it, and they just wait and reverse it to the weak side.
Round 3. Bush bottled up top to Fred. Driving, missing, but she'll go to the line. In a game with 2 great ball clubs, sometimes it's the little things. We term it extra possessions by forcing turnovers and offensive rebounds. And right now, Louisiana Tech has the better of it.
Well, they do, because you see they're getting second chance points, and that's a lot off offensive rebounding. But look what they're getting off of turnovers. That means they're able to get out and run.
Keisha Frett with 7. And Maria Gilmore comes back in. And Amanda Wilson goes out. Here's Frett's second shot, and that's good. 41-35 with 2:10 remaining in the first half.
The big foul shot for Fred, because Georgia right now hasn't had anything out of their last couple possessions.
Williams on the baseline. The runner is good. 17 first half points for Deborah Williams.
Boy, they're like bookends, Vicki Johnson and Deborah Williams. They hurt you so many different ways.
Tough pass to handle for Ann Borstoff, and she travels.
See what happens when Tracy Henderson's out of the game. You lose all your offense in the middle.
Amanda Wilson is back. LaQuisha Walker goes out for the Lady Texters. 7 turnovers for Georgia. An 8-point Lady Texter lead.
Again, they're trying to isolate Deborah Williams against Cam Irwin.
Splits the defenders, puts it home, and a foul.
Saudi Roundtree is absolutely remarkable from coast to coast when she gets this ball, because most players, Bob, check this out right here. Most players would see all those white jerseys and say, okay, I'm going to pull it back out. She knows she's got the speed and slicing ability to get in between and finish.
Hits the foul shot. Saudi with 11. And Georgia has cut it back to 5. The Lady Bulldogs, Nancy, have been able to make a couple of mini runs here to hang close, but seems like Louisiana Tech's able to keep them at arm's length.
Well, you figure with two teams that like to get up and down the floor in transition, the game's going to be a series of runs. And who can contain the other team from timeouts, slowing them down with rebounding, wins the ballgame.
Shot clock is expiring, and they got it off. It's Vicki Johnson to score to make it 45-38. Deborah Williams' shot didn't draw iron, so that shot clock continued to dwindle. The Lee Jeans halftime report coming up. Robin Roberts and Mimi Griffin. A breakdown of the Virginia-Tennessee game and a preview of the Vandy-Connecticut matchup from the Rosemont Horizon.
What a comeback by Tennessee, down 17 points early in the second half. You just can't rule out the Lady Vols and Pat Summitt.
The shot clock at 20 as Fretz Warner in and out. Gilmore the board.
With Tracy Henderson on the bench, Lakeisha Fred has to step up her offense for Georgia, and it's good to see her taking some shots.
Andrew Neal. Shot clock just under the game clock. 10 seconds to shoot. Neal in the lane. Missing. Coming up with it, Gilmore. Put back by Wilson. Amanda with 4, and that's the half. Deborah Williams with a remarkable first half. 3 3-pointers and 17 to help the Lady Texters take a 9-point lead and set themselves just 20 minutes away from the Final Four in Charlotte. Now let's check in with Robin and Mimi.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. What was that you were saying about patience before the game started?
Let's throw that one right out the window, you know what I'm saying? There goes that theory.
Well, quite a contrast from our first game. Well played first half.
Oh, a great offensive display in this first half. I'll tell you what, you need to buckle your seatbelts for this one. It's incredible to me that Leon Barmore's defensive-oriented team is running with this Georgia team and running very well. But I think that Bob and Nancy made a very good point in the first half. They're taking care of the little things. When they get the second chance points, they're converting. When they get the turnover, they're converting. So they are really doing a good job in those areas that make a difference.
You said in the 60s or the 70s. You didn't say that at halftime before the game.
Okay.
We've got a lot. She can take it. We've got a lot to go here.
ESPN's presentation of the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Prudential. Live well, make a plan, be your own rock. And by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
For the Lady Texters over Georgia as we get set to start the second half. Lady Texters senior Deborah Williams was a second-team All-America as chosen by the AP, but Nancy in that first half, she was second to none.
Oh, she was unbelievable. 17 points in 19 minutes and a job that she did just breaking down the defense. Check this out right here. If you're playing against her, Keidra Holland, you've got to step up over that screen by Spurlock. You can't give her the outside shot. Now right here, if you watch what's happening, this is Saudi Roundtree, and this right here is Deborah Williams. You have got to keep an eye on her, and there's some confusion defensively right now. And then, boom, she had never moved, Williams. She just stayed exactly where she was Roundtree's got to belly up to her.
Andy Landers admitted to us that Georgia is not a great rebounding team. But if the Lady Bulldogs are to win, Nancy, they've got to do something about the Louisiana Tech offensive rebounds.
Well, 13 offensive rebounds. Tech is only shooting 41%, but when you're getting second chance putbacks, it doesn't matter what your percentage is. Both teams doing a great job taking care of the ball. Only 7 turnovers for Georgia and only 3 as much as Louisiana Tech likes to run. Great decision making.
Able to get that last rebound. Fumbles this one. And Georgia maintains possession. Powell. Now Roundtree's running. Great touch pass to Walker and puts it in.
And Walker looked like she lost her footing when she was going up.
And McQuisha, after hitting the shot, went down, and immediately Leon Barmore off the Louisiana Tech bench. Also, assistant coach Kim Mulkey Robertson is there.
Well, Walker knew something because she went up and her leg just gave out, and she just looked at Coach Barmore, and being the doting coach that he is, I mean, he just flew right out there to hang on to his player. I mean, that is what is real impressive about Leon Barmore. You know, everybody sees the coach and him running the drills, but he just loves his kids. He'd do anything for his players.
It was a beautiful touch pass that got Walker the basketball. Let's see if we can tell here just what happened.
Well, you could see as she caught the ball, she was doing a jump stop, and her knee, it looks like just buckled.
So while we have a break in the action, we'll step aside here with 19:24 to play. Basketball. Her right knee appeared to go out on her, and now they've called for the stretcher to come and take care of Walker. So while we have time, let's go back to the studio. Robin Robertson, Mimi Griffin.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. Needless to say, we will keep you updated on that situation, and that is paramount right now, her health. But how this affects the team, she's a very big player inside, especially if Raquel Spurlock gets into foul trouble.
Absolutely. McQuisha Walker, Leon Barmore has suggested, actually has the best post moves inside for this Leon Barmore Lady Texter team. So offensively, it will hurt them very much. But in depth as well, they really don't have any depth on the inside except for Priya Gilmore coming off the bench now. So this is going to be a very big deficit for Leon Barmore and his team, not only because one of their friends and key teammates is injured, but technically, offensively, it will hurt them.
Yeah, psychologically. I mean, you're starting the second half, and a key player like that goes down. It'll be something to see. But again, what's paramount is her health. Let's go now back to Bob and Nancy in Nacogdoches.
Thank you, Robin. And now Walker on the stretcher being taken out of the arena here in Nacogdoches. And as soon as we receive word, obviously we'll be passing it along to you. But as Robin and Mimi were pointing out, Nancy, this really has an emotional effect on this basketball team.
Well, I think it does, and not only for the team, but right there for Coach Barmore, as he just was out. I don't think I've ever seen Leon move so fast. I mean, he's just saying right here, Coach, and that's him just coming right towards her. I mean, he's the first person there.
Georgia with Henderson inside. Tracy with 13.
Now for Tracy Henderson, it's so important. You know that LaTech is going to play with a lot of emotion right now. Georgia has to be able to stay focused and continue to run their game plan and exploit Henderson on the inside.
Brett had 8 points and 7 rebounds in the first half. This is this one, and Spurlock retrieves.
So much has been said of the great guards and perimeter players that Louisiana Tech has as Deborah Williams misfires on that pass. But if you look down the bench at Texas Tech, Kim Mulkey, their assistant coach, was a 2-time All-American. She was an Olympian in 1984. They won the gold medal. She went to 4 Final Fours. What a wonderful player to have teach the rest of your kids the game.
Fred missing. And coming up with it, Amanda Wilson. Neal to Spurlock. Raquel with 4, 51-40, Lady Texans. Roundtree, that's for 2.
Buddy Roundtree might have the quickest shot off the dribble. What a beautiful release and follow through. That's why you have to push up on her, get right in her face, because you know she's going to let the thing fly.
Spurlock missing inside. Wilson with the follow. We've received word from the Lady Texter locker room that McCusher Walker sustained a dislocated right kneecap. Wilson rebounded.
Well, no injury is a good injury, but it's also nice to hear that she didn't tear an ACL or anything like that.
Andrew Neal with a charge. That is just the 5th Lady Texter turnover of this game. It has been played at a tremendous pace, and Leon Barbaugh was not happy at all about that call.
Well, we've mentioned how good the defenses are on both teams. We're on pace now to have maybe a 100-point game.
Inside Henderson. And a foul on Spurlock.
That is just unbelievable execution by the Lady Bulldogs. They just run a little triangle type of offense with Rachel Powell, and then on the second option, they come back to Tracy Henderson over Spurlock.
Tracy picked up 2 personals in that first half and was limited to 13 minutes. Quite obvious that Georgia needs Henderson available for all 20 here in the second half.
Well, Tracy Henderson only averages 23 minutes a game during the regular season, and a lot of that is because she has been in foul trouble.
Tracy is fouled out of 8 games this season. Rhea Gilmore is back for Louisiana Tech. Henderson continues to rack up the points. A 53-45 ball game. Neal kicks it over to Williams. The double pump is good.
She stayed on fire. She didn't lose anything at halftime in the locker room.
55-45. Lady Texans. A lob to Brett and the runner. Henderson the stick back.
Who does it better than Tracy Henderson? Maybe Carol Walters, keeping the ball up above their head, not bringing the ball down where a guard can take it.
Great technique. Williams for 3. Yes! 4 3-pointers for Deborah. Roundtree answering at the other end.
This puts so much pressure right now on Georgia to not only answer, but to answer with a 3-pointer, because you don't want to keep giving up 3 for 2 with Deborah Williams.
Neal. Williams saves it. That one blocked by Fred and taken away by Lakeisha. Roundtree cross courts to Holland. And that 3 is good.
Kedra Holland was waving her hands all the way down the floor, and Roundtree has such great vision. I mean, that play was being set up when the ball was on the outlet.
And for Holland, it's her first 3-pointer after missing her first 5.
Kedra Holland had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists in the game against Stephen F. Austin. We've said that she's one of the underrated and unsung heroes of this Lady Bulldog team.
Neal throws it away. And Saudia going to work with Brett. Great block, but a foul on Williams. Jeffrey's second.
Brett, at 6'3", can just motor up and down the floor. And that's where, Bob, you talked about earlier, the mismatch problems that she creates. Look at her get up and down the floor.
Brett hit 22 straight free throws earlier this season. She led the SEC at the line at 87%. Coming back in for Louisiana Tech is Monica Maxwell.
I always think that when a player plays international basketball and has played against different elite players throughout the summer, they always come back with a different element to their game. And LaKeisha Frett played on the World University Games team last summer, and I think she's a much better player for it.
And again, we see Georgia making that run, Nancy, to get back into the ball game. But to date, the Lady Bulldogs have not been able to seize the lead away from the Lady Texans. Spurlock.
Finally, Spurlock being able to shoot before the double team came down on her.
15 minutes to play for a berth at the Final Four.
This game is everything that it was built to be.
Anderson, up and in. Tracy with 20.
Rock Spurlock has to be saying to herself, I am playing really good defense. She's not going around me. She's just going up over me.
To the tune of 9 of 10 from the floor. And Johnson is hammered.
Now, I was waiting for this to happen. When Louisiana Tech was going to try and post up Vicki Johnson against Keidra Holland or Saudi Roundtree.
Georgia putting together this 9-2 run, but Neal knifing in, scoring her first second half point. 62-56. Holland for three. Roundtree saves it, but into the hands of Maxwell.
Georgia so much more efficient when they make 2 and 3 passes, just the way Louisiana Tech did in their half-court offense.
Vicki Johnson reaches double figures. Tech lead goes back to 8.
He's doing a much better job of keeping Louisiana Tech off the offensive board so far in the second half.
Roundtree. But the offensive rebound. And a foul.
That's why she's two-time SEC player, first-team player, LaKeisha Frett.
Monica Maxwell picking up her first.
She is so smart as she reads situations, LaKeisha Frett, and nobody boxed her out. That time, Monica Maxwell looked at the ball, didn't turn, and lay a body on Frett.
13 for the Hampton, Virginia Junior, and a 5-point lead for the Lady Texans.
Lady Texans use that box set to try and curl Johnson or Deborah Williams off the high post to give them just a little bit of an opening.
Deborah Williams matched up against Roundtree. Spurlock blocked by Frett. Blocked by Henderson, rather. Her third, and rebounded by Frett. Look at Saudia go!
When Henderson blocks it, she's the second all-time leading shot blocker to Katrina McLean. That is another way to ignite the transition game.
The Tech lead is down to 3.
I used to think Teresa Edwards was the quickest player I ever saw with the basketball. I now reserve that for Saudi Roundtree.
Some great help that time from Holland to bottle up play in the post. And Roundtree comes out with it.
Little one-on-one, spreading the floor, letting Saudi do her thing.
Anderson nearly tipped that one in. 64-61.
Leon Barmore said that in the semifinal game, he thought in the second half against Texas Tech that his kids got a little winded. He thought he didn't do as good a job with substituting. Now, with the injury to LaQuisha Walker, he's going to have to find some good substitution patterns to keep his kids fresh. I mean, let's face it, Bob, both these teams have blown people out throughout the year. So the kids are only averaging, the players are only averaging 28, 27, 29 minutes a game. Now they're having to play 40 minutes a game, something they're not accustomed to.
And with Walker gone with the injury, that Tech bench is a little shorter.
Well, it is a little bit shorter because she gives you so many quality minutes.
Neal bumped on her way to the bucket. The senior from Pelican, Louisiana, Kendra Neal to the line. Here's Amanda Wilson checking in for Deborah Williams.
And now you see a little bit of that shuffling of the lineup. When you put Amanda Wilson in the game, the freshman from Freeport, now she is a good post-up player, but boy, can she nail the three. She's shooting about 31%.
You're looking at LaQuisha Walker coming back out of the Louisiana Tech locker room. We understand she tried to walk, could not, wants to see the second half. So we'll watch it, I presume, from that end zone location. As the Lady Techsters lead by 66-51 as Neal hits two at the line.
Now, that doesn't surprise me that one of Coach Barmore's kids would want to come out of the locker room and watch his team play. That is just, I mean, they have one of the most stable traditions in women's basketball, Louisiana Tech.
Foul on Gilmore. 11:55 to play as LaQuisha Flett goes to the line where she has scored a bulk of her points tonight. She's gone 5 of 5 with the strike. Georgia trailing by 5.
Georgia is a very balanced basketball team. They have 4 players in double figures. Sure, a lot of the flash and dash comes from Saudia Roundtree and Keitra Holland, but LaQuisha Flett is a very important component if they're going to get back to the Final Four.
15 for Fred. We've got a timeout in Nacogdoches. LaQuisha Walker waiting in the wings. Tech by 3. Off the stretcher, and he is sitting now near the Louisiana Tech bench. You can see Walker's situation over there on the sidelines, wanting so desperately to cheer her teammates on here in the second half.
Well, you really want to know what happened. LaQuisha Walker said, I don't think I want to watch ESPN. I'm tired of Bob and Nancy. I want to get out here and see what's going on for myself. And that Robin and Mimi character, what are they saying about me in the studio?
66-63 Lady Techsters. Kendra Neal with it. Out to Deborah Williams.
We got a little bit of a zone defense right now. Looks like Saudia Roundtree chasing on the ball. But this is twice now that Georgia has switched to a zone.
Strong rebound by Fred. Roundtree spots Henderson ahead of the pack. And into the hands of Williams. A great save by Maxwell. Neal on the fly. Here's Johnson. That one rejected by Henderson. And last touch by Henderson. The 4th block for the junior from Minneapolis.
This is why she's the number 2 all-time on the shot block charts for Georgia. Great timing and being able.
Missing the 3. Henderson cleared. Georgia trailing by 3. Roundtree scoops it inside. This one's taken away. Up ahead to Spurlock. Perhaps sensing the pressure from Henderson. Missing the lane.
Those are the shots that Spurlock has to have, those little bunnies by herself.
Georgia's third opportunity with the ball down by 3. 10.5 to play. Saudia to tie it.
Roundtree one-on-one off the dribble, gives you the head and shoulder fake, drives you back and pulls up.
The last time this game was tied was at 23. And Saudia Roundtree's 3 knocks things at 66, and a timeout in Nacogdoches. 10-10 to play. Roundtree with 20. Shooting 53% here in the second half as we look at our Prudential storyline. Keep in mind that no team has shot better than 50% against Louisiana Tech since 1993. But Georgia's over 50% in this game.
Well, they're over 50% because they're doing a fine job of getting the ball down low to Henderson. And also, Saudi Roundtree's been able to score so easily.
Johnson. Louisiana Tech by 2.
That possession, the zone of Georgia did not affect what Louisiana Tech wanted to do.
Roundtree kicks it out. Here's push operation. Taking Neal on the dribble. Spurlock, tight ropes, stolen by Roundtree. Up and off, followed by Stret, no good. And the Lady Techsters are running. Vicki Johnson, all the way. Stret protects it. Neal reaches in to tie her up. And Georgia gets the possession arrow.
We've talked about so many times when you get a rebound, try and keep it up high. You bring it down low. It's like a shark smelling blood.
68-66. Andrew Landers' Lady Bulldogs have not been able to seize the lead yet in this game. They can with a three-pointer here. Roundtree handles it out front. Shot clock at 10. Saudia up and banks it in. My goodness.
So Roundtree has that nice inside-out dribble that drives you back, and then she steps back to create space for her shot.
The 5th tie of the game at 68. Williams. But inside, hold it. Out of bounds was Vicki Johnson. Now Georgia basketball and a chance to take the lead for the first time.
The credit the Georgia defense was forcing the Lady Techsters to shoot on the outside and not hurt them on the inside.
Brett to the bucket. Henderson is fouled by Spurlock. Number 3 on Raquel.
All made possible by Lakeisha Frett when she had the ball at the top of the lane. She's able to go down and hard to the basket. She draws defense, and everybody forgets to box out Tracy Henderson.
Amanda Wilson going out for Louisiana Tech. Tracy Henderson having a magnificent game. She and Roundtree have combined for 42 of the Lady Bulldogs' 68 points. This to give Georgia its first lead. The guard comparison between Roundtree and Williams, matching 22.
It's not a surprise. Debbie Williams said at the press conference yesterday she needed to have a better game, and she's getting it.
Second shot for Henderson. Louisiana Tech dodging the bullet there.
Stallworth in the game for Kendra Neal. She has played extremely well the last month or so of the season.
Williams. Front rebound. And Roundtree pulls up. Shoots it short. And another foul on the Lady Techsters.
I would bet the scouting report says do not let Roundtree get ahead of steam. Well, if nobody slows her up in the backcourt, she's certainly not going to stop until she draws the foul or gets the shot.
Neal is back. Wilson is back for Louisiana Tech. Maxwell goes out. Stallworth goes out. And Saudia Roundtree, the Naismith Player of the Year, and playing like it. And Georgia leads for the first time.
Great players step up and play their best at the highest level of competition. And you have got it here tonight. That's what Deborah Williams is all about.
70-68 Georgia. And the Lady Bulldogs coming with pressure.
First time in the game that they've tried to do any trapping.
Henderson can't knock it away. Johnson penetrates. Wild pass on the baseline. Wilson can't handle it.
excellent call by Andy Landers. He wasn't trying to steal it. He was just trying to create a little havoc and miscommunication, and it worked. Walker is missed. Number 32 for Louisiana Tech, the junior, who's on the sideline with the injury. They need her.
Holland for three. And it's a very confident Lady Bulldog team that has seized a 5-point advantage.
Over the last 13 games, Keidra Holland shot about 50% from three.
Timeout for Louisiana Tech, and that is the final timeout for Leon Barmore. He's used all three. 7:07 to play in Nacogdoches. A big three for Keidra Holland has given Georgia a 73-68 advantage here in Nacogdoches. The Lady Techsters are out of timeout. Leon Barmore has burned three. Nothing left. No 20s for the women in the tournament. And that is remarkable, Nancy, given the fact that there's 7 minutes and 7 seconds to play.
And the last time Louisiana Tech had a tight game was back January 22nd when they lost at Tennessee 77-72. The only other tight one was the overtime win, the first game of the year against UConn.
A push on round two. College basketball slam dunk and three-point championship coming up on ESPN. The last shattering Darvin Ham from Texas Tech and Michael Wilson of Memphis headline that slam dunk field coming up Thursday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. Neal driving, banking, missing. Rebound to round three, and here comes Georgia. Holland. Now Georgia resets.
Very, very smart play by Keidra Holland, sensing she didn't have the shot, pulling it back out.
Round three. Bang! 26 for Saudia. 75-68. Louisiana Tech has hit just one of its last 10.
And they also have not been able to get the ball on the inside, and they've been settling for the outside shot.
Brett with a terrific double team, and Georgia comes up with the basketball.
I'd say the difference in the second half has been Andy Landers changing his defense from man-to-man to the zone, and it confused the Lady Techsters.
Georgia on a 12-2 run. And a foul on the Lady Techsters underneath. This one will go against Kendra Neal. 5:53 to play.
The other thing about Georgia is they're sensing who their hot player is, and they're going back to her, and I think that is a very smart move.
Louisiana Tech has not been able to get a field goal in the last 4 10. And the points coming from Neal at the foul line.
The team that averages 87 points on the season, they're not used to having droughts like this.
1-1 here.
Saudia Roundtree, season high of 32. And that is point number 27. Georgia has not lost a game in which it shoots 50% or better. And I don't even think in Andy Landers' wildest dreams did he expect his club to shoot 50% or better tonight.
Well, they're a 47% shooting team on the year, and they get a lot of those in transition and off the steals against a team like LaTech that forces you to shoot 33%. No, you're right.
Anderson clearing. Georgia continues to pull away from the #1 ranked team in the country. 77-68. A Georgia turnover. One of their rare mistakes here in the second half.
Well, one of the things they corrected at halftime, Georgia has 19 rebounds in the second half, and Louisiana Tech only has 7. That's why we haven't seen Tech get out and run the basketball.
Johnson. Followed by Maxwell is good. Big bucket for the Lady Texans to keep them within shouting distance. Bush. And the rebound, Johnson, and a rebound foul on Brett.
Well, Georgia has certainly picked the right game to decide that they can rebound with one of the best teams in the country, because this is as solid a performance as I've seen them play against a quality team like this.
An amazing turnaround for the Georgia defenders. They choked off Louisiana Tech on the boards. They have not been able to get the second chance opportunities, and Georgia leads it by 7. Johnson. Vicky with 14. The Lady Texans within 5.
Kendra Neal is going to be one tired young lady when this day is over.
What a play by Roundtree. My goodness.
I mean, how many times have we said it? I mean, the superlative of what she has done in this game, it's hard to document.
Williams pumps it up and in. Deborah with 24. Lady Texans still down by 5. Roundtree driving. The banker won't go. Brett the follow. That won't go. Williams has it for the Lady Texans. Posting a 3. Off the mark and out of bounds to Georgia. That would have been a big series in this game, Nancy. The 2 that Georgia did not get, and a potential 3 for Deborah Williams.
To me, Louisiana Tech looks like they're tired. You can see they're holding their jerseys, and when you're bent over like that, that says to me you're winded. But Barmore really can't make any substitutions.
Roundtree for 3, in and out. Now Deborah Williams. And a foul on Roundtree. Tennessee advancing in the East. And coming up next, we'll have Vanderbilt in Connecticut. And still the potential is there with Georgia leading this game for 4 SEC teams in the Final Four in Charlotte.
Well, that's why they're clearly the best conference in the country.
Andy Landers trying to make it 2 for 2 for the SEC, leading LaTech by 5. Oh, but Saudia Roundtree sees distinct differences with this year's Georgia squad.
A very mature team. Unlike last year, people called us babies. People said we weren't tough, we were getting pushed around, which was true. That's not the type of player that I am, because I don't like people saying that about University of Georgia or me, because you know, I'm the aggressor. I like to push people around. I don't like for someone to say, "Saudia, you getting pushed around."
She didn't get pushed around tonight. She was playing her best game when it counted the most. 30 points tonight, and I have a feeling she's not yet done.
Well, those are pushing numbers, and she's doing the pushing.
79-74. Louisiana Tech trying to make one last stand here. Neal. Hit just ripped out of her hand by Holland.
You really didn't get a chance to see it, but Lakeisha Brett, she set the pitch. She didn't let anybody get to Holland.
Spurlock, and that's intercepted by Roundtree. Saudia end-to-end and fouled by Kendra Neal.
You come out, you give it your best shot defensively. Watch this defense right here by Keidra Holland. Taking away the passing lane, going right to the ball. Georgia loves to create offense with defense.
4 fouls on Neal, and now Saudia Roundtree back at the line, missing the first shot. 74, Georgia, 2:19 left. The second shot is good.
Andy Landers played one of the toughest schedules in the nation this year, probably to the Lady Vols.
Anderson rebounds the Williams miss. Claudia says, I'll take over.
Well, we're talking clock management.
Vicki Johnson with a foul, and Roundtree back to the line.
And not a bad play by Vicki Johnson, because now you get a chance to stop the clock and it forces Roundtree to make her foul shot.
Louisiana Tech seniors, Spurlock, Neal, Williams, and Johnson out there, and I think, Nancy, right now with 2:04 to play, a sinking feeling for those seniors.
I don't think they ever thought they would be in the position they are right now. But Georgia has been up to the task.
A career best 33 for Claudia Roundtree. 10-point Georgia lead.
Georgia, you don't want to foul. You just want to play containing defense. You don't want to stop the clock.
Williams off the mark, but Spurlock follows. Louisiana Tech out of timeouts. 84-76 Georgia.
Spread the floor if you're Georgia. Try and take away any double teams.
Anderson. And Brett the rebound. And a foul on Johnson. NCAA Division I hockey best to push her team into its second consecutive Final Four.
And it's twice now, Bob. I mean, we had a chance to check out some of the Tennessee-Virginia game, and then certainly this game parallels that. The Lady Techsters with an 11-point lead early in the second half, and Georgia just turned it up on the defense in rebounding.
Spurlock. Blocked by Henderson, rebounded by Henderson. 11 boards for Tracy. The Final Four in Charlotte looking more and more like an SEC tournament than a national tournament. Tennessee is in, and the Georgia Lady Bulldogs are 59 seconds away. 36 now for Roundtree, and 11 of 12 at the line.
Well, this will be the fourth time that Georgia ends up going to the Final Four.
And only the fourth time the Lady Techsters have dropped the regional final. Stallworth. Henderson has it knocked out of bounds. 45.8 left as Gilmore checks back in. Our Nike player of the game, is there any doubt? 37 for Saudia, a career best, with 6 assists and great free throw shooting, leading this Georgia assault. She has scored 26 of those 37 in the second half.
Well, the thing she did best was seize the moment and the momentum. And I think she could just feel that the guards of Louisiana Tech were getting tired, and that's when she kept attacking them the most.
Kim Thompson in the ball game now for Georgia.
Game of keep away right now.
27 seconds left. And for the #1 team in the country, its second defeat means the end of the season.
Just a tough shooting half for Louisiana Tech. Deborah Williams and Vicki Johnson just didn't have it in the second half offensively.
And the Lady Techsters, a ball club that led the nation in defense, giving up 52 points a game, has yielded 90 to Georgia tonight. The ball game is over. Color it, 2 SEC teams in the Final Four. The Lady Bulldogs are on their way to Charlotte. Pieces of the puzzle secured. Halfway to completing our Final Four on this magnificent Monday. Georgia joins Tennessee. Thanks to Saudi Roundtree. Her career best 37 breaks the heart of the Lady Texans in Nacogdoches. The final score, Georgia 90, Louisiana Tech 76. Let's send it back to the studio and Robin Roberts.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. The Louisiana Tech run with the Bulldogs.
I was shocked, and I think I said that several times during the game, Robin. Louisiana Tech is a team that can play in the half court, and I, for one, was shocked that Leon Barmore wanted to try to run with Georgia. Now, that this Louisiana Tech team has run all season, so maybe he didn't feel like it was time to slow them down. But I don't think there's a team in the country that can run with Georgia. Their quickness is outstanding.
Leon Barmore, the WBCA Coach of the Year, 31-2. They end another magnificent year, but again, they fall short with those 3 5-year seniors. I know they're very disappointed, but 2 for 2, the SEC. Now, Georgia and Tennessee going on to the Final Four.
And I'll tell you, Georgia has a few things going in their favor. Their depth, 12 players in double-figure minutes. Their quickness is unbelievable. The job they did on the boards and defensively tonight, and then there's always the Saudi Roundtree factor. That woman not only doesn't want to lose, she won't lose. She won't.
Remember the game we did?
Against Connecticut.
Connecticut, and she was just...
unreal.
Yeah, she received the Naismith Player of the Year award, and I think she felt every bit of that award, scoring 37 points, a career high. Again, the final, 90-76, Georgia, marching on to the Final Four. Back in a moment. Georgia team.
You got it.
We're back in Nacogdoches, where the Lady Bulldogs of Georgia have won in impressive style, knocking off the #1 team in the country, Louisiana Tech. Andy Landers is to my left, and Coach, you knew your ball club was going to have to put together perhaps its best game of the year. They did that for you.
Well, I thought we played awfully well. First half, we broke down the last 2 possessions, and they put 4 points on the board I didn't think should be there. But we challenged the players to keep doing the same thing the second half as we had done, but let's fight a little harder, do a better job on the boards, and it worked.
Andy, in your wildest dreams, now be honest with me, did you think you could score 90 points against Louisiana Tech?
I really don't think about it. I don't question it. It doesn't surprise me because we have that ability. This game also had the potential to be in the 50s, because both teams play good defense. But, we shot well from the floor. And when you shoot well from the floor, you're going to score some points.
Okay, Andy, everybody, Tracy, 12 points. You actually had 12 rebounds, 20 points. Lakeisha Fred has 16 rebounds. Everybody talked about the dominating rebounding of Louisiana Tech, but it was you who dominated.
Yeah, after halftime, we knew we had to do something about those boards. And me and Keisha talked. We was like, we're going to get on them boards. And that's what we did. We knew we had to rebound in order to win this game. And, that's where we lacked. We shot well from the floor. Everything was there except for the rebound.
Well, not only did you do a great job on the boards, but you've got the star of the game right here. Career high 37 points. Saudi Roundtree, you were just unbelievable.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to thank God for making this possible. Without him, we couldn't have went out here and won this game tonight. I just want to thank my teammates and coaching staff and everybody for supporting us and believing in us. Nobody believed we could win this game but us. I just want to...
She's got to take some credit sometime, Nancy. She's a heck of a basketball player. It's not coaching. Henderson didn't do all that. She did.
All right, let me ask you a question. You come out in the second half, you're down 11 points, and it seemed like you might have thought that the guards from Tech were getting tired because that's when you just stuck it to them.
Well, I have that ability to just push the ball. Sometimes I get out of control, but tonight I seen the holes. I made it through. I had good shots. I took them. I just want to thank God again, for allowing us to win this basketball game.
So you're telling us that Georgia is for real. You got the respect that you deserve.
No, not yet. Not yet. No, we haven't got what we deserve. You can't give it to us either. We just get it on our own. We're out of here. Aren't we, guys? Get out of here.
Okay, we'll see you in Charlotte. Andy Landers, the head coach of the victorious Georgia Lady Bulldogs. What an impressive performance tonight to win this Midwest region. Let's go back to Robin.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. For the second straight year,